remember this. La-da-da-da. And now comes the dance. And they go up over the bridge, and they go back around from the side. Turn, and he kisses her once. Oh, he pulls her back up, and her hair hasn't messed up at all. And they do a big sweep and a kiss against the floor. And then he kisses her some more, and then he stops, because there's something amiss. And he looks back around, and she stops away and moves it. And this is where they get to the second verse of the song. This is the verse that they always cut when MGM took a successful musical and turned it into a film. Actually, dear, there's more that I should say when I tell you I'm not fond of the moonlight. Truth to tell, his changeable spell does a little more than I said before. When the moon's full and bright, I actually scowl. I get feelings too deep to contain. With my throat going tight, I suddenly howl, and my wild side is hard to restrain. My clothes fall away, muscles bulk up in a hurry. My feet get faint and furry. I grow fangs, wicked claws, and a tail. On a bloodlusty tear, I held head to height for thunder, and I'm feasting on my plunder. Happens just once a month. Without fail. But with no moon at all. What a nice guy. And so far you've kind of enjoyed me, knowing just one night a month to avoid me. Then I wish that you could be mine tonight. I won't confuse blood with red wine tonight, cause there's no moon at all. What, no midnight? Good night kiss. I'll remember. Pardon me. No one should miss. Lori and the Boys is on this stage. A friend of mine last night, God bless him, he's a theater person, said, it's like Follies, but with a happy ending. I consider that a great compliment. On this tiny little stage, with the help of Mr. Dan and JT, we have these fabulous, we have a show that has moving lights for astonishingly talented people. It's a wonderful little tale, and it's a true story. It's very simple. It's just a wonderful pianist named Lori Donato found a new community, new people, and we have enhanced her little world and made it come to life. The story of gay bars in this little town, of how to be here, and how she found people of all kinds of... It's a great show. I'm so proud of this. And if you're enjoying this, Lori and the Boys is better! Anyway, get a flyer. So good come and see us. When you're dealing with young people sometimes, not your own children, but especially teenagers, and you're trying to interest them in theater, unless it has to do with hair and nudity, you're kind of like, well, what can I write a show about that they might enjoy? And then you say, this is a story called The Pied Piper. It's all about parental irresponsibility. All right, I'm there. And The Pied Piper is a fabulous poem. Go read it sometime. It's hysterically funny. But the point of the story is that people make bad choices. Okay, whatever. No, not always, whatever. Sometimes it changes the world, changes those people in that world, and maybe gives them a new fight. And I've asked a very good friend of mine, a lady that I have done, we figure something like between 15 and 1,800 performances together, one way or the other. My kids were laughing today because they grew up with this lady's voice, and they said, "Oh my God, I heard her singing, and it was like old times." Music is a very powerful thing. If you don't believe it, go read about it. You'll be astonished to see what your head is doing when you least expect it. Would you please welcome to sing a song called What Happened to the Music, where she'll just portray a mother who was found out from the city council that the very city council she trusted to take care of the piper who took care of the rats has screwed her over, and the piper has piped away every child in the city. Like some bad decisions we make sometimes. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lisa Dyson.
He'd save the day. His magic was complete. The rats were quickly piped away from every house and street. But power's greed has lost its senses, and now I plead the consequences. The silence in my head and heart is roaring like a fire. Our town is dead and torn apart by every cheating liar. You had the chance, you didn't take it. Now the dance is what he'll make it. Now it takes promises meander, no gold for the goose, and some hell for the gander. My children lost in the trade. No sound of any happiness that used to be around. What happened to the sunlight? Gone the shine from every laughing heart that brought a light to mine. Cold mute air hovers overhead in an aching sky, not even a whistle on the wind. Instead there's a silent cry. What happened to tomorrow? Who's to blame for losing every hope I once could call my name? Oh, if only all the music in the sunlight of tomorrow, nothing is the same. The day may come when this pain I feel may finally ease, but never fade. And even the song a little child sings may appease what peace I've made. But today it's clear you made the choices. I'll never hear my children's voices. Still it's true, but in this darkened hour I'm guilty too of giving you the power. But now it's me you betrayed. And wouldn't tomorrow shine much brighter? Wouldn't your burdens carry lighter? Would you sleep much better at night if the piper had been paid? Who can say how life might go on if we chosen right? The sun will keep rising as it must, but dawn will bring no delight. And somehow, if they're making music I can't hear, I only pray their song is wise and free and clear. Oh, if only all the music in the sunlight of tomorrow always could be near. When much brighter. Would dark burdens carry lighter? Would we sleep much better at night if the primer had been paid?
I always wanted Lisa to do something dark. I mean, we do so many happy shows together. It's like, and now she and her husband Scott are getting killed off together in an Agatha Christie play. I mean, life must be good. You're getting killed off in well, now we're going to take a different quick look at some romance and things and gains and losses. A lady here whose name is Eden Livingood. And when I first wrote this next song, I was in Nashville in a rainstorm, which turned into one of the hottest days I'd ever. I don't know how many of you don't deal with heat, but southern heat, I had never been down there. Fresno heat, I understand. You know, this was like, hi, I'm coming to Nashville. Oh shit! You know, walking out the door, back in the door, and my friend was like, hi, we're listening. I'm like, you got to. But when I heard this tune in my head, this was the lady whose violin I knew was going to bring it to life. So we're going to get her set up here. So if you would welcome Eden Livingood. The nice thing is I saved a lot of my solos for the end, so if it's going long, I can. And we found earlier this evening that we're gonna work with no amp for the violin. And because it's just kind of, you know, I mean, remember real instruments? When I was a kid, I used to love the idea that you could scare children by simply playing an instrument live in their face. You play a live piano for a little child and their hair stands up on end. They go, that's too loud! Let me put my headset back on, you know? So anyway, I wrote this. In city of Nashville, East Nashville, there's this place, and it's a house, but it's on this slope. So the street's out here, and it goes down like this. So when you're sitting on the second-story porch, you're like 15 miles in the air. And it was during the time that Katrina was coming through, and we didn't know what was happening there. We were in Nashville, and but the trees, you know, were doing this, and the cats were like, and the bugs in the heat. Holy crap. It was a very happy time. I don't take vacations much, and I don't take them well. But it was great to come back with this in my head. So, hi there, Machine. You all ready to go down to the south? Now, this isn't deep South country. If you're from the South, folks, over here on my right, don't tell me, oh, yes, that's the Mitt Romney version of the South. It's the version I heard. You ready? 1, 2, 3. There's dogs in the distance engaged in conversation, discussing those things they most believe to be true. A train rushes westward announcing her intention to whistle on by, 'cause she's just passing through. Bugs of all kinds going out of their minds, trying to scare off this heat with their voices. A big cat of great size with enormous green eyes turns her tail in retreat, making unprintable noises. She did, I heard them. And then up on a second-story porch sits me, listening to the sounds of a world I never knew could be. A summertime Tennessee night. The breeze gets gets excited while pushing through the treetops and tickling the leaves on some branch that she found. The sky calls the clouds up, inviting them to visit. They stagger on into some hanging around. One of them jumps